Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tech Break by Friday. If you're enjoying our posts and episodes, please consider subscribing. It helps the podcast a lot and more than you think to bring valuable content about AI. Sorry about my voice, I'm a little bit cold. I hope everything sounds perfect, and let's dive into the first. What if one of your favorite artists is climbing the Billboard charts and being courted by major labels? But maybe it's not so real, not in traditional sense. So meet Xavier Monet. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it that correct. Sorry if I'm not. Who has accumulated over 44 million streams, landed a 3 million record deal, and made history as the first AI-generated artist to debut on Billboard's radio airplay chart, all within months of her creation. Xania Monet made music without even setting foot in a studio. Actually, she never even existed outside of a computer, and she is the vision and creation of the songwriter Nicky Jones. So, Nicky utilized Suno to create the AI artist Xania Monet. Today's episode focuses on AI artists, the ethics, considerations, and possible future directions that this industry might take us on. But Monet is not the only one out there who's breaking the charts. Breaking Rust, an AI powered country act created by Aubrey Rivaldo Taylor, so sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, topped the country digital song sales chart with Walk My Walk and hit number 9 on emerging artists. The project has accumulated over 2 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Also, not expected, The Velvet Sat Down, a mysterious synthetic music project, tops Spotify's daily viral 50 charts in the UK, Norway, and Sweden, with their psychedelic rock track, Dust in the Wind, amazing over 1 million monthly listeners. So let's look a bit at the numbers behind all this revolution with AI artists in the music industry. The statistics paint, I would say, a dramatic picture in the AI's infiltration into this industry. 18 to 28% of daily music uploads to streaming platforms like Deezer are now fully AI generated. That's between 20,000 or 30,000 AI tracks per day. 74% of internet users have used AI to help discover new music. 82% of listeners find it difficult to distinguish between AI-generated and human-created music. And 60% of musicians now utilize AI tools in their creative projects. The AI music market has valued at 2.9 billion in 2024 and it's projected to reach 38.71 billion by 2033. So, all of these numbers are great, but what are the actual ethical crossroads against human-like artists? What's happening there? So, please follow me and imagine you're an artist who posts covers and music covers on YouTube like any other artist that actually started a long way back and sings his own songs and posts them online without any label. Like, you don't have anyone backing you up, you don't have anything at the moment. You're just like, you woke up one day to discover that famous AI platforms have been scraping the web and AI artists were using your voice. Now someone else is using your voice to create new songs and publish them. But you get nothing. No recognition, no compensation, basically nothing. Here's the ethical question that we need to answer as a society. Are tech companies allowed to scrape data and download any creative work they find online without attributing credits? Who is responsible for the protection of the artistic work? And in this case, why hasn't the legal community taken action yet? Does it mean that because something is available on the web to see, AI companies can use it for training? I also want to ask a deeper question. What does even consent mean in this era of AI? Have we lost maybe the right to create art from our own art? On the other side, I see arguments from people that AI needs massive data sets for training. So, as an AI expert myself, and as someone who has fine tuned and trained multiple AI models, I can actually understand and agree to that sentence. But why can we ask for permission from all the sources? That's something that I thought initially. Is it because of time? Is it because we know that the legal consequences of these actions are not severe enough to deter companies from following an ethical path? So, if any of you that you're watching this or listening to this have an answer regarding this, please share it in the comments down below. I would really like to hear your opinions about that. Some artists are not waiting for society or legal institutions to protect them. They taking matters into their own hands to promote the ethical use of AI. And how have some artists embraced AI ethically, you might ask? And what does this mean? Let's move on and see what this happens. So, Holly Herdon, a pioneer composer and AI musician, created an AI called Sprawn, trained exclusively on consented data for herself and a vocal ensemble. So basically, it's a project involved into Holly Plus, a digital twin of her voice, and others can use it to create music. So Hernon won the 2022 Ars Electronica Starts prize for her ethical approach towards AI music. And this is something that she has been attributed to. Towards the next artist that actually took a more ethical approach, you might have some controversial opinions. I'm not here to get into those. I just want to mention it because it's a cool project and a cool platform that showcases how artists can actually use AI ethically and create more art. So, Grimes launched an elf.tech platform allowing anyone to create songs using an AI generated version of her voice with a 50-50 royalty split on any successful tracks. So the initiative earned her a spot on Times Magazine as the 100 most influential people in the AI era in 2023. And over 1,000 songs have been created using her voice model. So you can say that this platform has an appeal for creating songs for artists having this royalty. So, the approach of this artist places a strong emphasis on the consent that the artist provides to create their own digital twin or voice. The numbers indicate that more people can create new songs using the voices of these artists, incorporating their own concepts from their verified social media platforms. But there is a question to ask about what happens when the artists don't consent to the use of their voice by AI cloning platforms or AI music generating platforms. But you might ask, what can I do in my place to actually make a difference in that? So, let's look at the steps that we can all do to maybe care about how AI is used ethically in the music industry. So, first, pay attention to how artists are using AI and ensure that they are doing it so ethically. So, if an artist discloses that they have already used AI in their creative process, that's transparency and that's honesty. That deserves your respect and your streams. That's how I see it, at least. If an artist is mysteriously silent about how their music has been created, or if you suspect that it's like fully AI generated without any disclosure, then ask questions or like demand some transparency. Or like, second, let's all demand from like platforms like Apple Music, Spotify to have a flag about AI generated music. We can send them feedback, we can actually tell them in reviews that they do about the apps and basically ask for this feature as users. Choose the artists that you want to stream, for example. This is the third one. For human artists, every stream is money in their pocket. And basically, for them, it's rent, groceries, it's their ability to make money. Like you go for work, like I go for work. So if all music becomes AI generated, the human artists won't survive. So join the conversation and have conversations. Reflect on these matters to assess your own position into this topic. Discuss it with your friends, discuss it with your colleagues, discuss it with everyone that you might, with everyone who would listen. And if you think that this is a topic that you feel passionate about, Xania Monet, the AI artist who made history, 44 million streams, 52,000 US dollars in revenue, a $3 million record deal, first AI generated act on Billboard's radio airplay chart, and Nikki Jones, the songwriter who created her, poured her heart into these songs. She structured the melodies, she wrote the lyrics, she had a vision, and she utilized the tools available to make it a reality. But here's what we can't ignore. Xavier Monet's voice, the voice that moved millions of listeners, the voice that topped charts, wasn't built in a vacuum. It was trained on voices of countless other singers, singers who might never know their sound helped create her, singers who never see a cent of that 52,000 US dollars in revenue, and singers who never actually said yes. So, when you queue up Xavier Monet's next hit, I want you to ask yourself a question. Whose voices am I really hearing? Whose stories, whose struggles, whose hours in vocal booths and late night studio sessions contributed to this sound? And will those artists, real human artists, still have a place in the music future? Or will they be replaced by machines trained on the very art they have created? The technology is here. The charts are changing. The question isn't whether AI will be part of music. It's whether we demand it done ethically. Consent, transparency, compensation. These three things could make AI a tool that amplifies human creativity rather than erasing it. Thanks for listening or watching this video. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it and let me know where you stand. Send me a message or leave a comment and please join the conversation. Thank you. Please subscribe. It helps the podcast more than you think.